Hello, my name is Samuel Perez. I work for Coldesi here in Tampa, Florida. Today I'd like to show you how to install a potentiometer on an E-series single head machine. Okay, you're going to need a 2mm Allen wrench, a Phillips screwdriver, pliers, or a crescent wrench. Okay, now let me go ahead and show you how is the process of replacing a potentiometer. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to power the machine on. Okay, as soon as the machine, you see the SWF on the screen, you're going to press the start key. Okay, so we get to an installation window there, and we want to go to number 9, PARA set. We can highlight it, or you can just press the number. Okay, we're going to press set, and we're going to press 1 to go. Now this is going to come up machine information. Okay, so we have nothing to do with these. We leave that the same. We want to go to settings. Okay, so hit the top arrow and go to settings, highlight settings, and hit set. Now we got this information right here. We want to go to needle position set, so use your arrow to this one, and basically now we're going to hit set. Okay, now let's leave that like that for now. Now if you just go to your passivity knob and manually move the head all the way to needle 15, and just make sure you line up the needle enough to where you know is exactly on needle 15. Okay, dead on, pointing to the hole of the needle plate. And also on your screen, make sure it says half turn says on. If I move my wheel here, you see how it goes off and on. So you want it to say on, and also the needle pointing to the hole on the needle plate. Okay, now what you want to do is, using your Phillips screwdriver right here on the side, we want to remove this screw. Okay, be very careful that you don't lose that screw. Okay, sometimes it's good to magnetize the screwdriver, the screwdriver, so that the screw doesn't fall off the screwdriver. We're gonna remove this other one on the back. And that wasn't supposed to happen, but you remove the cover from the side. Okay, and here's your potentiometer right here. Okay, so now before we do anything with that, we got to remove this cover as well, because in here is where the cable fits into. So we got to remove this cover. So use your... So these are the screws you need to remove right here, and we're going to remove this cover. So now we remove the last screw. Okay, and the cover, I want you to remove it and just put it right on the side. Okay, and what you want to do is now find the cable that goes to the pot. Okay, if you need to cut the zip ties, you can do it, so we can find where that cable plugs into. So as you can see, this is the cable for the potentiometer. I already cut the zip ties of, I have one here and two over here. I cut them off. Now I trace my cable, and it plugs right to the top joint board. You can see where it plugs. All you got to do very carefully is unplug the old potentiometer. Okay, as you can see. So now what we're going to do, this is supposed to be our old potentiometer that we want to replace with a new one. So before you do anything else, you want to remove what we call the sensor right here, because pointing in this collar is the screw we want to loosen to remove the pot. So here's what you do. Just very carefully remove these screws. There's one on the top, one on the bottom. Okay. Put it to the side, don't lose it. Here's another one. Okay, once you remove them, now you can get the sensor out of the way. Okay, just put it right here on the side, and now in here, protruded, if it's the right word, is where you find a screw. So you're gonna grab your 2mm T-wrench and you're going to go in there and just loosen the screw. Just loosen the screw. You don't need to remove the screw. Now you can basically pull the pot completely out. So now once you have your pot in your hands, this is the old pot, we need this bracket on our new potentiometer. So use your crescent wrench, okay, and loosen these nut. Okay, when you do this, do it very carefully, and just you're going to loosen, remove the nut there. Okay, this nut and this washer should come with the new potentiometer. You can use this one or the ones that comes with the new pot, doesn't matter. So you remove these from there. Okay, now you grab your new pot and put it just the same way. Okay, as a matter of fact, you probably also have a washer there. You're also going to need that washer. Put this washer first on your new pot, then you put the bracket. Now if you notice, look how I'm positioning the bracket. My wires are right on the side of it. I'm not doing it like this for the wires to be on top, or I'm not doing it with the wires. I want to put my bracket to where my wires are right on the side of it. Very important. Now you put your washer and you put your nut, and remember, this is your new pot, so you want to be very, very careful, especially not moving this shaft right here for now. Once you have it in there, you want to tighten. Do not over tighten. Okay, now once you have that done, okay, you're going to, first of all, before you put it in here, you want to plug the new pot in the top joint board. So now what we're going to do, we want to plug the new potentiometer in its right plug. As you can see right there. What I like to do is I like to take my screwdriver and very gently on the sides, I like to push it down very gently. Don't try not to damage the wire. I just want to make sure that it's plugged, is well plugged. Now what you want to do is you're going to leave your potentiometer hanging like this. Okay, and let me show you next what you're going to do on the OP box. So now our next step is we want to make sure that where it says potentiometer, you see those numbers flickering. Okay, what you want to do is here on your shaft, you want to spin it, and as you rotate, you want to bring this number to 140, and make sure your half turn is on. Okay, to 140. Once you go to 140, it's going to beep on you. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and rotate it. I'm going down. Here it is. It's on 140. Okay. Be careful. You have to be goes very slowly until you get it to 140. Once you're on 140, you can hit set. And there it is on 140. Okay. Now, once you have that done, the potentiometer is already calibrated. And you need to be on needle 15 again, okay? So what you want to do is now you're going to insert the pot very slowly. Remember, this part right here has got to go inside this groove on the bottom there, okay? So look, and you're going to put it in very slowly. There we go. Now, once it's in, you want to grab your T-handle, 2 millimeters, and tighten. Just make sure you put your finger here, push it in a little bit, snug, until you tighten the screw. Try when you're tightening the screw, try not to move the half-turn sensor film too much. So there, it's tightened. So now I'm going to go ahead and put my sensor back in. Okay, right there where it needs to go. So I'm going to grab my first screw. Okay, now remember, don't tighten that yet because you want to make sure you still have a little play so you can put the other one in. Okay, once you have both in, tighten a bit, don't over tighten again. There we go. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to now make sure we still at 140 and half turn sensor on. Once that's done, what you want to do is go back to OK, use your arrow, go back to OK, set, and then here go to OK again by using your down arrow and hit set. It takes you to the screen, you hit set OK again on OK. Now it takes you back to the original screen. So now you're going to test and make sure that it's color changing correctly. So I'm going to go to needle number 8. And it went fine. Now I'm going to go to needle number 2. Good. Remember this, as you move from needle to needle, you want to make sure that nothing is preventing it from moving. Okay? So now on the last segment, I'm going to show you how to put everything back. Okay, so now what you want to do, you want to put your zip ties, just like I did on these. I put 2 of them, one here, one here. Just make sure that you tighten that, don't over tighten. Okay, you can put it right here on this section, so when we put the cover, okay, it's flush with these. Then you tighten these 2, and you want to cut these guys right here. Okay, once you're done with that, make sure you put everything back in there nicely, okay, and then we put the cover right back where it needs to go. Okay, make sure there's no wires on the way, and you put your 4 screws back on there. Now once that's done, you want to put your last cover in. Just make sure when you go in, be careful that there's no wires on the way. If you feel that you're putting it in and something is preventing it, just take it back out, inspect it for wires, and then put it back in. When it goes in very nice and easy, okay, then you want to put your screw right here and on the back, and you're pretty much done with the installation of the potentiometer.